Welcome to another success mindset tip from Secret Influence TV. So Secret Influence TV is a channel dedicated to learning how to be more successful in your life and business through using the power of influence, influencing others and influencing yourself. Influence is all about positive control because you want to be able to control your outcome in life. And you want to be able to control the direction your life takes and whether you achieve your goals in life. That's a good thing. So having a bit more control is a thing that we should all look to do. And how to do that? Well, we want to be able to influence the people we listen to, influence people we talk to, influence the people we interact with. We want to influence our audiences to follow and subscribe to us. We want to influence people to buy our products or service, to become our customers and clients, to become our fans. We want to influence our manager, perhaps to give a promotion, the interviewer to give us a job. Everything in life is about being able to positive, make an impact and engage with people and influence them. Today's success mindset tip is all about using the power of imagination. The imagination is such a powerful thing. The mind is incredible. We only use about 30% of our brain's power. And I'm going to talk about how we can use our imagination to be more successful. So I'm going to start by saying, when we're young, if you look at children, they're incredible imaginations. We encourage it. It's a good thing. As we grow up, we're told to be a bit more realistic, to be a bit more focused, to be a bit more grown up, a bit more adult, and not have silly beliefs and overwrought imagination. Stop sort of believing in nonsense, to focus. And it's such a shame because actually it's people who have the great imaginations, the great vision, that become the leading examples of successful business founders, the visionaries. The people, for example, if you look at the founders of Apple, Apple came along and it challenged the existing businesses in its same niche, challenged Microsoft and the way Microsoft was doing it. It came in and it had a vision, a different way of doing things. The people who did it were passionate. Steve Wozniak, Steve Jobs, they were passionate about what they're doing, exciting. They didn't want to just have another range of laptops, smartphones. They wanted to be a lifestyle thing. They wanted to represent a certain way of thinking, certain way of living. They wanted to create a brand. And it was only possible if you use the imagination. If you actually watch, TED Talks or YouTube videos of, for example, Steve Jobs talking, he clearly has this passionate excitement, this great vision, this different way of looking at things. There's always often a childlike quality about people like, Steve Jobs, or if you look at Elon Musk. And I mean that in a positive way. It's very tapping into that childlike wonder, which we lose growing up. But actually, if you want to achieve big things in life, you have to see what is possible. You have to believe that anything is possible. You're not going to achieve anything if you don't think anything is possible. If your imagination is very limited, you can only imagine working the same job for the rest of your life. And if you can't imagine ever getting a date, if you can't imagine ever earning more than £50,000, if you can't imagine ever traveling abroad, you're never going to do those things. Research has shown that the most resilient people who deal with challenges in life are the people who are more creative and got a bigger imagination. A great way of looking at it to explain this is if you are very focused and you believe your life is going to be very set and structured, and you're going to have a career working in the same area, the same job, and you're going to be with your wife forever, and that's very good. But suddenly, if you get made redundant, and then perhaps your wife leaves you, your whole world's going to come crashing down, and you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to be able to cope because suddenly everything you believed in, everything you thought would happen, is not happening. It's all changed. You're left with nothing. What do you do? How do you cope? But if you are someone who believes, yes, you want to stay with your wife forever. Yes, you want to have a great career, but you understand that things can change. You've got to be ready for change. You want more than just being the same job forever. You always want to challenge yourself and push yourself, and you believe that anything is possible, and you've got dreams and ambitions to achieve things and try things, do things in life. Then if you do get made redundant, you can be more flexible and you can cope with better, because you'll see it's not the end of the world. There are other jobs out there. It could be an opportunity to start a business. And if you split up with your partner, again, it's really hard, really tough. Any sort of challenge like relationship split up or losing your job is challenging, but you're more likely to cope better because you can see the bigger picture. You can imagine that things can still go on. You can still achieve things. There are other possibilities, avenues, opportunities. One door closes, another one opens. A silver light of a cloud. Imagination is so powerful. So the best people who have a great imagination are children, and it's the adults who retain that childlike quality. If I look at my 7-year-old son and I watch him playing, and I'm just full of admiration. I'm blown away if I look at him and how he can take the two sort of 3 simple things, like a bit of Lego, a little bit of Lego, a couple pieces of Lego, put them together, and then 2, 3, 4 bits of Lego become, a house. It becomes a spaceship. It becomes a new type of vehicle, becomes a creature of another world. Just a few bits of simple Lego, a few bits of plastic, and he's creating a whole new world, new characters, and he creates stories out of them, and he makes the noises and the excitement as he his mind develops all these stories. It's incredible. He plays for hours doing it. Amazing. I mean, Lego is a prime example of how something so simple can develop the mind, and it can give such pleasure, but also it's like a great tool for developing creativity and that open thinking. Lego itself, just to say, was developed 100 years ago. It's been around for a while, developed in 1932. Danish founder, Ole Christensen, and he developed it using the philosophy of 2 basic concepts. So Lego comes in 2 words, leg and got. So leg and G-O-D-T, got, which means play well. And that's the whole philosophy. It was how these simple Lego pieces could encourage people to play well, to develop a sense of play and develop imagination. And it is. You look at children or adults, and that is the whole point of Lego. Is such a simple thing can develop imagination to have this fun, immersing themselves in a new world. And obviously Lego is one of the biggest, most successful companies in the world. It's one of the biggest brands, and they've obviously moved into films and merchandising, but the core product is still these simple bits of plastic. So children, they have this great imagination, they're good at telling stories, and we develop these things and encourage them. Then as we grow up, suddenly we say to them, stop telling stories, it's lying, making things up. Stop using your wild imagination, be more realistic. Come on, grow up, be a grown up. Come on, be serious. And always things were good as a child, suddenly they're not good. But actually, we've got it all wrong, because, what we should be doing is retain those things, and adding them to our toolbox, our tool belt for success. Because we know storytelling, actually, it's not a bad thing. Storytelling is one of the best ways to give a presentation or speech. It's a way of connecting the audience. We connect with people through stories. Storytelling, we all have a brand story, why we started our business, why we do what we do, how we achieve what we achieve, how we got to where we are now. And telling our story in business is one of the best ways of developing our business. Again, engaging with people, building interest. Storytelling is one of the most powerful ways of creating rapport with people and connecting. And it's the same imagination. When you often, if you have to, particularly marketing agencies and advertising agencies, and they've got a big campaign that starts with everyone sitting in a room and having that brainstorming session. And there's I read this famous thing about Walt Disney, when Walt Disney started his company, and he was doing his cartoons and his Walt Disney Productions, and then there's the theme parks. And as they developed the theme parks particularly, they had 3 stages to development of any new ride. And The first one would be the room where anything's possible, the anything's possible room. If this was a brainstorming, the ideas room, the use your imagination. What do you want to do? In an ideal way, what do you want to do? A ride through space, in a waterfall, flying carpets, whatever. The second one would be tampering it down, to the realistic. Okay, we can't do this. It's just impossible because it's too expensive. It wouldn't be safe. And then the third one would be, okay, what we've got left. We started these great ideas. The second one, we looked at what could be done. Why certain things couldn't be done. We've ended up with a third finished product, and then we look at the implementation. How do we actually now implement this thing? But the most important stage is the first stage. You can't have a second stage and a third stage without the first stage. Everything starts at idea. If you look at companies' websites, the biggest companies, most successful companies in marketing, if you look at their websites, what do they have proudly on the website? It's who we are. What do we do? But why do we do it? Why do we do what we do? The why is everything. The why is the most important thing in life. No, people don't really, some ways, care what you do in life, about why you do it. That's what connects people. And the why is the mission statement for the company. The vision. And a lot of the big companies who are good at their marketing will have a vision statement on their website. Our vision is. And I love creative companies like like some of the film companies, like George Lucas, who did Star Wars, Lucasfilms, for example, or you look at sort of again, Apple, and their vision statements. It's not about producing the best high-tech mobile phones, high spec. It's about changing the world. Changing the way people think and interact. Changing the way people engage and communicate. It's the same with Facebook. Whatever Facebook is functions and aims as a business, if you look at their mission statement, it's all about connecting people. It's all about engagement. You could be cynical, obviously, in whether you believe that, but it's all about their dream for the world. And that is so important on an individual level, but also for your business, because that we know that to achieve anything in life, have to be clear on what you want to achieve. You're never going to achieve anything if you don't know what you want to achieve. You're never going to get to your destination unless you know exactly where you want to be. So you've got to have a plan in life. If you don't have a plan, fail to plan to fail. And any plan starts with that big vision. I want to. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be? What's a bigger picture? And then once you've got a big vision, then you narrow down on the specifics. So the big picture could be, well, I want to start a business. I've always wanted to, sell my own design T-shirts. That's my dream. I've always dreamt about that. I'm creative. I know I could do it. That's my passion. That's my thing. My vision, my dream is to sell my own branded designer T-shirts to the world online, talk about it as well, and write a book. That's my dream, it's my passion, that's my vision. And then once you've got that, then you can say, okay, well, how am I going to do it? Now you break down and say, okay, well, this is my plan. These are the steps and goals. Step by step, I'm going to do it by doing this, setting this up, creating this, setting this, But you can't have a step-by-step plan until you know what that big dream is. A big dream is what guides you. It's also what keeps you excited. If you lose touch with your dream, if you lose touch with that big vision, then what you're doing is essentially you're just doing a job. You're just following your set task for that day. If you're running a business, you might as well be doing a job. You lose that passion, excitement. Because the imagination is linked to your vision. Can you imagine running your own business? Can you imagine writing a book? Because if you can't imagine it, then you're closing your world. having an imagination, saying, I can. If you look at children, when they imagine the Lego is a spaceship for another world, they're saying, I can believe it. I can. I can see it. This Lego isn't Lego. This is a spaceship. This is a creature. This is from another world. It's seeing beyond just the everyday. And that is it. The people who struggle to cope with change, to cope with challenges, are the ones who say, I can't see how I can cope. I can't see any improvement. I can't see things get better. The people who are the visionaries, disruptors, who have success, who cope with change better and challenges, who get up and live their dream, and the ones who can imagine things being better, things changing, things improving. I can imagine things doing. I can see it. Imagination is such a powerful thing. So what I say is, don't limit yourself. Don't limit your potential. Don't have a closed mindset. Be open-minded. Be creative. Look at children for an example. Where do you want to be in life? You know, do you have a big vision? Do you get excited by things? Do you listen to ideas and foster them, and do you play around with ideas? And you may not implement every idea. You may not. It's like the Walt Disney. Not every crazy idea was implemented, but some of them were. If you look at Disney World, why is it the most biggest, famous theme park in the world? Because you go through the rides and they're crazy. You know, you go to Disney World and it's like, wow, you're blown away. Look at the size of that. Look at that crazy. It's like your mind is blown. Adults feel like children, and children are excited. Everyone's excited because it's incredible. The experience, the vision, what you see, and wow, it's incredible. And that was only Disney theme park could only have effect if they pushed the boundaries and had that first room where they said, let's go crazy, let's see what we can do. Maybe we can't do everything, but let's really open our minds. Let's blow away audiences. Let's be the best we can be by using our imagination now. What do we want to achieve? What do we want to do? And not everything was achieved, but the ones that were, bam, they're the ones that blow your mind. The power of the imagination. That's the tip for today. The power of imagination. Tap into it. Use it. Really use what 30% of our mind. Let's use our mind to open up, fire everything up, and be open to new opportunities, new possibilities. And let's also, I think learning is earning. Look at Tony Robbins, another example of disruptor. He was a therapist. He started out, he wanted to get into coaching, and he saw how people were at the time, sort of 30 years ago, doing long, structured therapy sessions, very scripted, very, very structured, took a lot of sessions, and he thought, no, I'm going to change the way we do this. I'm going to make it more direct, more confrontational, blow it up. I want to change quicker for my people. Idea would help, and it worked. And he's challenged things to push things, and he's always believing in the potential mindset of others. I'm not saying whether what he says or his approach is right or wrong, but he's incredibly successful, incredibly rich, very good at what he does, and that's because he is constantly trying new ways of doing things, new alternative ways. He's clearly got a massive imagination for the way things can be done. So that's it. The tip for today, one of a series of success mindset tips, because in everything in life, it is all about mindset, having the right mindset. So please do subscribe to this channel, Visionaries TV, for notifications and more great success mindset tips coming soon. Thank you.